One, I wanted to go live because I normally go live on Fridays at about this time, which is 10 a.m. PT. And this is not a scheduled live, it's a new month. Welcome to July. But I wanted to go live because I wanted to just touch base with anybody that has subscribed here. So if you're here live, feel free to say hi and where you're watching from. I'd love to see that. And if you're watching the replay, comment on this video and I will still see your comment and I'd love to respond to you. So I'm Marina Blackford. I'm a two-time breast cancer survivor and I created this channel to help people on the journey mainly through chemo. I had chemo tips for you, and they're all here. So you can go to my playlists and look at the chemo playlist, and there's lots of tips for you there. You can subscribe and turn on notifications for when I go live. Lulu, hi from New York. Hello. Turn on notifications, and then you'll see when I go live. I generally post when I'll go live for the month with a schedule for the two lives. This month is it's summertime, and I am in summer schedule, which is just kind of uh, it's not a very routine schedule for me. My kids are home. And yeah, so that's what's going on. So I really encourage you to subscribe because this month I'm probably going to be just be doing pop-in lives. I think next week's live might be like on a Tuesday. So make sure you subscribe. Next, subscribing and coming on the lives is going to help you with a couple of things. As a two-time survivor, I like to share what's working for me, the feelings I'm going through, and what tools are helping me. So if that sounds like something that you could benefit from after having cancer, you're in the right place. After I had cancer the first time, I had qualified for the Boston Marathon right before being diagnosed. So being told I had to go through chemo and remove my breasts was devastating. And even more so because I just obtained this huge life goal and it was possibly going to be thrown away on pause. But that was a moment for me. That's when I had a choice. And anytime in life that I feel pushed on, like so much pressure that you have no choice, like being told you have cancer. I have to tell myself there's always a choice. In some degree in life, there is literally always a choice. If you really think about it. I mean, y- being told you have cancer and have to go through treatment, you still have choices and you just have to make those choices. And so if you step into that more, like I always have a choice, that is what has always brought back a feeling of empowerment to myself that I do have some control in my life and I always have a choice. So just ponder that, what it looks like for you. So here's what I told myself. I knew that I was going to get to the Boston Marathon. I knew I had to do 6 months of chemo, remove my breast, and do reconstruction. And that was going to be a really tight timeline of doing that and getting to a race that I had qualified for. But I told myself, I will crawl across the finish line if I have to. So there it was. I let go of how it happened, but just that I would be there. And that's another empowering thing for you in life when you feel like, look, it'll happen. And I don't know how it'll happen or what it might exactly look like, but it will happen. I knew the feeling of crossing the finish line. I would do it. Like if someone had to push me across in a wheelchair, I was going to do it. You know what I mean? So put yourself out there with what you want in life, with everything, with faith, with family, with work, and then let it happen how it should. That's some of my best advice for you. I'd love to hear your questions that you might have. And so feel free to put those in the live now or comment, and I'll see them. Another thing I've learned from being a cancer survivor is anxiety is real. It's real. Um, and if you had anxiety before, it will be magnified with being told you have cancer. But here's the good news is anxiety is our thoughts, and our thoughts are just that. You have a choice to let your thoughts come and go. There's a book that I read this year that was really helpful. It says, "Don't believe everything you think," and it's about letting your thoughts, not let them become your reality. That it's very normal to have these thoughts, especially after being told you have cancer, being a cancer survivor. So that's the shift in empowerment again, is I'm going to turn those thoughts from, oh my gosh, like this, I'm spiraling, what is happening, to, okay, what is going right in this moment right now? And you could be in treatment and do this, because I was in treatment and did this a lot. Sometimes in treatment, I actually felt more empowered than after treatment. Does anybody feel that way? Does anybody feel that way as a survivor? Like, I felt like when I was in treatment, I felt less anxious than I do now as a survivor. So if you feel that way, please don't let me be alone here. Because in treatment, I felt in control because I had chosen a treatment plan. I had, I was going to my appointments. I was like actively like beating cancer, right? And then afterwards, I kind of felt like, sometimes uh, I just felt a little unclear of the what's next. And I know this resonates. I was just talking to a survivor friend about this yesterday. So you're not alone in this feeling. So what's next? What do we do? What do we do to live beyond cancer? All right, here's a couple things that I do that help me. Number one, I pray. I don't know what that looks like for you. I don't know your faith, but I think we need to have a spiritual connection in this world, because to not have that, it feels very alone. And there'll be times that you will be alone, that you won't have people around you all the time. And when I feel alone, praying makes me feel like I'm not alone, because I am connecting to something greater than myself, that I'm more than this body. I'm more than just this life. I am literally a product of something greater, a God that loves me. That helps me. And so I hope you find that connection in how that could help you. The second thing I do is I breathe. I breathe. And I do this with my son. He tends to be a little bit more anxious like me, if I'm being honest. And so sometimes he gets dysregulated, and it's like he's 7, right? He's figuring out life and this busy world that we're raising our kids in. But I just tell him, hand on the heart, and just take some deep breaths, and just tell yourself, I'm okay. Because honestly, in this moment, unless you're literally taking your last breath, you are okay. And even if you are taking your last breath, if you have that spiritual connection, that first thing we talked about, pray, you are connected to something greater. So you're always okay. You're always okay. So just breathe and tell yourself, okay, I'm okay. The next thing I do that helps me is I usually get out for a walk or nature or some movement. And I strongly believe in movement helping us to live beyond cancer, because moving is energizing, moving is life. And if you are fatigued from chemo, I've been there. If you're fatigued from radiation, I've been there. So I want you to find that pocket in the day where you're like, right now, I feel a little better than I did an hour ago. And we're going to get up. We're going to walk to the kitchen. We're going to drink a glass of water. Maybe we're gonna put some electrolytes in it because some minerals might be nice. Some sea salt. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, just some sea salt and water. Just sea salt. Order it on Amazon. There's Redmond's, there's Maldon, just whatever. There's Relight if you want to like buy an electrolyte product. All the products that I really like that could help you, they're linked in my Amazon store. So check it out. It's so helpful. There's chemo products there, products for helping you through radiation. There's products for helping you get healthy. Like my favorite, oh gosh, do I have my running belt on there? I will look. There's products to help you. There's supplements. Just take a look. Maybe there's something on there that you're like, oh my gosh, yes, yes, that'll help me. So we're gonna get up to the kitchen, we're gonna drink some water, we're gonna get some electrolytes in. Lulu says yes to prayer. 1 week out of my first round, learning and breathing through each moment and day. That's it. And I will say the cheesiest stuff here, and I don't care. I don't care anymore, because this is it sometimes. Mary movie, hello. One day at a time, my friends. One day at a time. Anxiety is living too far in the future. Depression is living in the past. So we're going to do one day at a time, especially if you're in active treatment, and especially if you feel like you're a survivor that's just like trying to stay afloat right now. Okay. Oh, I love this question. I love this question. I'm going to go to a question here that someone has. LM says, how did you find the energy to make content if you suffer like I am during chemo? I wish I could find a way to make something positive from this. I love this point, LM. Mhm. How did I find the energy? I don't know. I found the energy because I had a mission, because I did what this is the life coach in me coming out. Okay. Subscribe, guys. Subscribe, subscribe. I want you to get this advice. I want you to just get my life coaching for free. So, as a life coach, when I set goals with people, we call them SMART goals. So, the S is for specific. And the goal came to me as like, I want to help somebody. And I just realized I'm not wearing my wedding ring. My hubby's at work. Um, Specific. I had this like just vision of, I, when I started the channel, was to give tips and I wasn't diagnosed, just so you know. So making the content when I was diagnosed was out of just um the creative brain. I love creating and I had already learned how to make videos. I already started the mission of helping people. And so it gave me something to do. I don't know how to explain it. It was greater than me. It was greater than me. The next part of the SMART goal is M. So it's measurable, meaning like, have I achieved this goal by doing this thing, right? I'm gonna make 2 videos to help. I love you. The A is oh my gosh, I'm having chemo brain because my daughter's here. Get breezy, girl. The A is not is it achievable, but we'll go back to that. The R is it reasonable that you can do the goal, and the T is time measure. So put a date. I always put a deadline on stuff because I am a confession, and don't let me be alone on this. I am I tend to be a procrastinator. So if I don't put a schedule for myself, like making the YouTube videos, or if I don't put a deadline, I will kind of just let it live in my thoughts and not get it done. So make your goal time measured. So for LM, for you, maybe the time measurement is like when treatment's done, I will write out my best tips that helped me. So maybe the reflection isn't even in the now for you, Ellen. Maybe it'll come later. But here's my best tips that helped me. And I'll always have that to send to friends and family that say, do you have any tips for my friend that was diagnosed? Something like that, whatever it is. Don't bump the door, baby. Um, so maybe that's it. It's just what is it going to look like for you? Kind of think about it. So maybe your goal right now is to just reflect and write and figure out how you want to give back what you have to give back. And I love that you asked that question, LM, because when I think of living beyond cancer is 4 pillars for me that I have come up with in my brain recently. And it's I want to live beyond, I want to move beyond, I want to love beyond, and then I want to give beyond. Because I feel like if we kind of do it in that order too, the order is important. Um, that would be the ultimate, right? If you can live beyond this moment, if you can move, because moving brings everything. It brings energy, that motivation that you're lacking. It'll help just the movement. And love, that's the acceptance. That's the acceptance of loving yourself. If we want more love in our life, we have to start with ourselves. I'm going to love me exactly as I am right now. And when I hit that moment on each journey, when I could love myself looking in the mirror, unrecognizable with no eyelashes and no eyebrows and no hair, I had hit the jackpot. When I said, "Oh man, I love me despite all these things right now." People felt that. I promise you. My nurses felt it. My husband felt it. My coworkers, anybody that they were like, wow, Marina's like in it. And right now she's like, okay. Like, does that make sense? I might not have been okay with my situation, but I was okay with me. And then when you come to that full acceptance of loving yourself, then you can give. So try doing things in that order. It's going to help you kind of move through what could help us all live beyond cancer. All right. LM says, how did you find? Oh, We already hit that one. Sorry. Lulu, I'm here for the cheesy. Yes. I'm here for the cheesy. Let's do it. Sometimes I say things I'm like, have you heard this before? Have I said this before? I don't care. We all need to hear it again, right? We all need to hear that again. There's the goal. Kita Ray says, oh, so sweet. Oh, my daughter, thank you. Says, thank you. Aha. Yes. Yes. So wow, we hit 15 minutes really fast. That's incredible. Today is 4th of July in America. If you're in the States, happy 4th of July. Happy birth to our country. I will not be political on this channel. I don't do that. That's not my thing. My thing is to connect with people, to love people, and that is it. I will celebrate holidays because I am in the United States and I feel very lucky to be born in this country just because of the freedom and the options that we have here. And that's all I'll say about that because we could like, whoa. Um, that's all I'll say. So if you're in the United States, happy 4th of July. All right. Diamond in the Rough says, hi. Did you change your subscriber name? You look familiar, your photo. I like it though. Um, aren't we all diamonds in the rough? We're all diamonds in the rough. That's life. What a good can I go on that? Who feels imperfect but can shine so bright? I love that. I love that. I think again, this is from the inside that we are so great. Everything on the inside. You were born perfect. And then the world made you feel, think, chipped away at how you might view life and yourself. But you were always a diamond in the rough. My husband wrote me a poem that he read to me on the last day I'm gonna get emotional, of my first battle with breast cancer. So my husband and I were dating when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, like very new, like just a couple months in, like we'd kind of dated, holidays, we're like, are we gonna date? Yeah, okay. And then I was diagnosed like February. I had the biopsy and then I was diagnosed March. And I tried to break up with him. I was like, I can't go through chemo and date. That's crazy. And he didn't allow that to happen. He said, "No, no, no, we're gonna date and get to know each other." So we went through that, and in April, when I did my last day of chemo, he wrote me a poem, and it had to do with diamonds because diamonds are formed under the greatest pressure. And he gifted me these earrings I'm wearing. It's my second ear hole here, these little diamonds. He gifted me these. My puppy bit me today. Ouch. Um, and he said, "You are a diamond," because he'd been under so much pressure. But the greatest things are formed under pressure. I mean, I can't remember the poem exactly, but it was something like that, and it was just, like, incredible. It was an incredible way of thinking of our experience, like, what you've been through. You don't have to be defined by what you've been through. You can let what you've been through take you to where you're meant to be. Cancer-free, paying it forward, and loving yourself despite your hair, despite your breasts, despite whatever kind of cancer you have, if you're here. I mean, my experience is breast cancer, but I do want to speak to anybody that's had cancer too that might have stumbled upon my channel because they just wanted chemo tips. One in five people, I know I've heard one in three, I think it's one in three in the United States, which would include like skin cancer, will get cancer. One in five people in the world will get cancer, according to the World Health Organization. So who isn't going to be touched by it? If it's not you, it's a family member. You know, watch a show. Yeah, we got to get ready for 4th of July. Yeah. I'm gonna read these comments and then I'm gonna come off my live, okay? Yeah. Okay, go with your brother in the den. All right. So I want to read through these comments because I think maybe you guys could hear me out on some of this. So Mary Muthi says, live, move, love, give beyond cancer. Wow, I love these goals, especially when sometimes discouragement sets in. Um, sets in when white blood cell count goes down after every chemo and have to boost it through Neulasta injection. Yeah, yeah, I've been there. I've been there. LM says, I modeled for 35 years, was a redhead my whole life. My hair, my judgment of how I look is so critical. I don't know how I'm going to get to your point of loving what I look like without hair or my breasts. LM, I love your vulnerability there. That takes a lot to even say that out loud. And there's no wrong way about what you're thinking. Especially as women, we attach a lot to how we look. I mean, look at me right now. I have makeup on. Like I like makeup. I like looking nice. Who doesn't? That was one thing that helped me was just getting better at doing my makeup at that time, like enhancing my eyes or my cheeks or my lips, some of the things I could control. And I would encourage finding a really amazing wig to love your hair and how you look at that time. Not everybody has to love being bald or short hair. Like, please get an amazing wig. If you're in the Phoenix area where I work with nonprofits and I absolutely love that. So check for a lump in Phoenix will help you get a free wig if you need one. If you have insurance, insurance will oftentimes cover a wig during cancer treatment as well. Do a yogurt, baby. Do a yogurt. What? Go ahead. All right. Let me see. Ellen says, enjoy girls, cutie pie city. Oh, thank you, Mary Muthi, beautiful baby gal. Back to mom life. Back to mom life for me right now. But just take your time with yourself and how you feel. There's no rush to feel any certain way. I think there's peace for you, and that peace can be something that you find in the day to day. I find that the most peace when I feel the most at peace, it's in my little moments. It's in my morning walk. It's in the silence. It's in music. It's in hanging out with friends sometimes. Like it's just finding peace is not some great big thing. It's not always like taking a vacation, which is wonderful and beautiful. And it's not like, you know, a pure like it's not a retreat, you know. It's not in anything. It's within you. It's within you and what it looks like for you. So I'm so happy you guys are here and you've listened to this live and you listen to what I have to say because I'm on this journey. I'm always learning, growing, learning, growing. I am not here leading you to the water. I don't know what I want to say. I'm not your guru. I'm your friend. I'm your survivor. I am a coach. I want you to reflect at how living beyond cancer looks for you. That's what I want to do. Please subscribe so we can chat more and we continue this journey together. It's all I've ever wanted is to help people. And so anytime I do these lives, it fills me up. And anytime you show up, it helps me feel like I'm not talking to the abyss. So I really appreciate you. Um, Diamond in the Rough says I completed chemo, radiation, and found another lump. A mammogram, ultrasound, biopsy. Now I'm waiting on the biopsy result. I'm going to pray for you right now, Diamond in the Rough. God be with Diamond in the Rough, awaiting her results. No matter what the result in, may she find peace in her path, that she is on the right path to healing and can live every day in the image of what you would want her to do. May she find just peace. I appreciate you being here. And Carly says hi from London. Nice light fittings. Ah, thank you. They're from Pottery Barn. Bought them on clearance when we built this house. Clearance, talk about a sign, right? Guys, be intuition with yourself because if it's not about your health or like, what I should be doing in the greater scheme of the world, it's about lights. I was like, I know what lights I want. And I looked it up online and they were on sale at Pottery Barn. And I was like, this is a sign. Be in tune with what you want and it'll start showing up. I promise. You want love? Start with yourself. If you want peace, create it. If you want a sign that you're on the right path, continue it. Like just continue it. Just keep moving. All right. I'm gonna go. Lots of hugs for you guys. And I appreciate you. Subscribe so we can connect again this month. I'm thinking next Tuesday. I do have recorded podcasts to get out, so they'll be on the channel as well. Um, Stuff for you guys to listen to so you can help, so you can live beyond cancer. All right. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.